What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, we have a new proposal here coming in from @theproposer, so I guess that's a perfect username for this, but it is a proposal to burn chaos packs for titles. That is the main thing here. Under the what, you can see burn chaos packs for titles while not devaluing any other asset, although I'm sure you could probably make an argument that it would devalue some of the other titles out there. But let's just go ahead and jump in. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. It's relatively straightforward, but there's some details in there that will probably get shifted around if this does get approved as a pre-proposal. So far, it doesn't have enough votes just in general, so I think there's still like 100% vote for it, but most likely most of these end up going to the actual proposal, so we'll see what form that takes when it does get there. So the why. Chaos packs are overprinted for our community. We need a place for them to go without devaluing other assets like Riftwatcher packs or devaluing other titles. Suffix titles are fun and also of high interest to landholders for their 10, 25, and 50% land boost. Titles are also very limited in overall supply, and so this should be of some interest to landholders. So essentially they're saying, do this for a 2-week period, have users send their chaos packs to null so that this isn't something that needs to be created and tracked by the team. It could just be something that's done on the back end where all of this is available to see on the blockchain. You can see who's sending to where, or at least the team should be able to see who is sending to where. But it would just be over a 2-week period. Splinterlands would then create the titles and distribute. Like I said, this would run for about 2 weeks. This means you'll only have those 2 weeks to send those packs in. And then the titles, as given here, the Stabilizer, which is a rare title, gives 10% boost on land. That will cost 125 packs. The Chaos Fighter, it's an epic title, 25% boost on land, 350 chaos packs. And then the Entropy Slayer, which is a legendary title, 50%, and will require 2,000 packs burned. So they give some interesting, points and counterpoints here. Again, I'm not going to go too far into the details because, ultimately you're either for this or against it if you like the idea. There's not as many titles out there, so if you view this as something that could potentially devalue titles, then yeah, I get it. I get why you would be against it. If you're against it because you think that it would take a lot of time away from the team, sure. But I think the way that this is being designed is that the team doesn't need to come up with a nice splash page or a landing page. They don't need to do all the tracking in a organized public manner. This is something that we can go through and just scrape the data off the blockchain. Like anybody could do. Peak Monsters could do it. Splex could do it, right? We would all have access to that. And then it just comes down to creating that kind of framework and rewarding those who end up burning packs for titles. So let's see. Other things to consider. Splinterlands team can respond in the first couple of days if they would like to give any updates. Looks like you can get multiple titles if you burn more packs. One argument against the proposal is that titles up to now have been very limited. Highest rare title has 688 in existence, epic 346, and legendary 76. So some may want to see titles used less. I'll agree with that sure, to a certain extent, we don't want to have too many titles running around out there. Granted, if you're going to pay $2,000, which is like, the price of a pack, or 2,000 packs for a legendary title, that's also not a small amount of money. I wonder how many people would end up doing it. What you could do is use this time, right, to update the proposal and essentially put caps on these as well. Now, here's the thing, and let me go down to find the spot. So another drawback or benefit is that with all of these, let's say you were like to make a serious dent, you need to do it with a lot more titles, right? So like perhaps twice. So however, removing, basically the estimates here was that we might remove 360,000 packs, which in the grand scheme of things is not very much considering that there's still like 2.8 million in existence. But once again, I feel like you're either for this or against it. Now, my thoughts, just on the general idea, I think the details can still be ironed out by those who want to be much more involved. But on the whole, I actually like this a lot because at the end of the day, yes, do titles have a benefit and a boost on land? Sure, they do, and they have value there. And I don't want to devalue other titles that have been earned or gained. So maybe we do something where you don't have like these won't be like common or sorry, these won't be legendary or epic titles. Maybe not even rare titles. Maybe you could just offer it so that it's like a title that can be used on land that gives you just a small boost, right? But I do think people love the cosmetic nature of having titles. And as we've heard from many players around the game, people want cosmetics, right? Items, not items, but skins, cosmetics, different types of things. And I think if you put this out there as a way for people to burn the extra Chaos Legion packs that we have, which, again, there's still 2.8 million sitting out there, I'm all in favor of that. It doesn't, like, something like this, I would say, I don't view it as something that's going to manipulate the market in a significant way. It is something that is just using an extra, an item that we have extra of, an asset that we have extra of, and giving people another area in which to use that, which doesn't inflate cards, which hopefully doesn't devalue other packs. Again, the argument could be made that it devalues titles, but titles are as close to a cosmetic thing that we have in this game. And therefore, I'm kind of for it, right? So I did vote for it, at least in the pre-proposal stage. We'll see how that ends up playing out on the actual proposal, and if I agree with whatever the final version of this is. If you go into some of the comments here, you can see from Imno, just doing some math, this would take out about 2.8% of CL core cards in exchange for doubling the amount of titles. So if you're not necessarily for that, then you could see that being an issue. Again, here's like the boost on land, right? So you got rare, epic, and legendary titles. I'm thinking, and again, this might be something that ends up adding more to land. But if you make it so that they're just like common titles, right, of which we have none, and make it like 5%, I wonder how many people would go for it. But then again, at the same time, I don't know. I'm not sure how we could, should, or would design any of this, and I'm actually curious to get Matt and the rest of the team's feedback on it. I did see here that Jarvie is for it, just because, again, I'm in for a legendary title and maybe 5 epic titles. It's kind of expensive, but with as many chaos packs still around, I doubt I'll ever see them get back to what I purchased them for. So I'd rather have titles for my land. So again, I don't think that's I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. We have a lot of chaos packs. We are about to get into Rebellion, which will add more packs into the mix. So in a way, if we can find other creative, avenues in which to use chaos packs, I'm all for it. Or at least I'm all for exploring this in its current, format, and we'll see what ends up happening. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.